Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Think of today's session as a senior level architecture design review. I am incredibly pumped you're here, because today we're demystifying something that is going to fundamentally change how you deploy AI. We are talking about Claude Managed Agents. Look, if you've been working in the AI space recently, you already know the absolute pain of taking a proof of concept and trying to drag it across the finish line into a production-ready state. It's not easy. So today we're going to break down the highly structured, managed infrastructure that solves this exact problem, giving you the building blocks to scale literally immediately.
But first, I just have to ask, why are you still building custom agent loops? Seriously, think about what it actually takes to build a reliable agent from scratch right now. You've got to figure out state management. You've got to build secure sandboxes so the model can execute code safely. You need to rate complex retry logic, manage error recovery, wire up durable storage. It is an absolute operational nightmare. You end up spending, 80% of your time building boilerplate infrastructure and staring at failed YAML deployments instead of building the actual product your users want.
Okay, let's dive into this and look at the anti-pattern versus the solution. Rolling your own, that means wrangling custom state, managing your own sandboxing fleet, spinning up durable storage for all your agent threads, and figuring out secure end-to-end auth. But Claude Managed Agents, they give you out-of-the-box scalable API primitives. It's an endpoint-driven architecture that completely takes care of the tool calling harness, the retries, the memory, the whole context management shebang. You just pick the primitives you need and ditch the rest. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Core primitives. 2. Security and vaults. 3. Monitoring live session events. And 4. Scaling production workflows. Let's get right to it. Section 1. Core primitives explained. We're going to look at these just like abstracted, modular Kubernetes building blocks for your production setup. First up is the agent. Think of the agent as your foundational template. This is where you define the system prompt and explicitly grant access to specific skills and tools. And notice those permission controls. They're key. You can explicitly restrict web access to prevent prompt injection for sensitive tasks, or, you can set granular controls where a simple file read tool auto-executes, but running a bash command or pinging your database, that requires explicit human-in-the-loop approval from your user. Plus, these agents are versioned, so if a system prompt update goes sideways, you can just roll it right back. Next, we have the environment. The environment defines the compute layer, basically the template for how Claude's sandboxes will behave. You dictate the network access and what packages come pre-installed, like your specific NPM or pipe modules. But here's the real game changer: self-hosted sandboxes. You aren't locked into Anthropic's infra. If you've got existing accounts and private data you don't want leaving your VPC, you can bring your own sandboxes using providers like Cloudflare, Modal, or Vercel. You just spawn one, connect it, and boom, you're good to go. The third primitive is the session. A session is the actual live, ongoing, stateful process. It's the live conversation with Claude. To start one, all you really need is an agent ID and an environment ID. Sessions are where your end users actually submit their events. And this is really cool. You can preload these sessions with specific GitHub repositories or local files, so they're instantly provisioned inside the container before the agent even starts working. So watching this all snap together, we get a highly logical lifecycle. Step 1. Define your agent template with its tools and prompts. Step 2, provision your environment, whether it's managed or self-hosted. Step 3, initialize the session by combining the two. And Step 4, stream your events back and forth. These primitives fit together so perfectly, taking you from a concept to a deployed production architecture without writing a single line of backend boilerplate. Moving on to Section 2, security, MCP, and vaults. Securing your perimeter. Now, in a production environment, securing your endpoints is absolutely non-negotiable. You can't just leave internal databases exposed to the open web, and you definitely can't play fast and loose with auth tokens. Managed agents handle this through 3 highly secure integrations. We already mentioned explicit human-in-the-loop approvals, but we also have MCP tunnels and credential vaults. If you have Model Context Protocol, or MCP, servers living inside your private perimeter, those MCP tunnels allow Claude to directly, safely connect to those internal servers without any internet exposure whatsoever. And this next part is a crucial architectural win. Credential vaults securely inject one-time MCP auth tokens for services like Linear or Figma without ever exposing them to the model's context window. Anthropic stores them securely and injects them right at the infrastructure level exactly when Claude needs the tool. Keeping tokens completely out of Claude's context window prevents disastrous token leaks. It makes your entire architecture exponentially more secure. All right, Section 3, monitoring live session events. Let's talk about Day 2 operations. Getting an agent into production? That's day one. Day two operations are where you actually maintain state and gracefully handle errors so you don't end up in catastrophic infinite loops. Visibility is everything here. To do that, you monitor 4 distinct event streams. First up, user events, inputs, documents, and crucial platform interrupts that let you forcefully steer or stop Claude if it goes on a bad tangent. Second, agent events, Claude's messages, tool executions, and automated context window compaction when things get too large. Third, session events, lifecycle status changes. Think retry loops, idling, errors, and termination. And finally, span events. These track long-lasting generation tasks. So if a model like Opus 4.7 is generating a massive document, you know exactly when the task starts and ends, so your system doesn't just think it's hanging. To actually see all of this happening, managed agents include deep developer console observability. You can visually inspect exactly what the agent is doing under the hood. You can live debug individual agent threads. If your agent is hanging, you can track individual tool execution times to catch, say, a highly inefficient file read or a super slow web search. You can even view and manually edit the agent's memory stores. So if Claude gets a fact wrong, you are literally correcting its long-term memory on the fly.
Finally, Section 4, Scaling Production Agent Workflows. Time for that next-level architecture. To handle really complex, multifaceted enterprise tasks, stuff that goes way beyond simple chat, you need some best practices to scale effectively. First, leverage those memory stores we just talked about so your agents have continuous learning across sessions. Every session gets better than the last. Second, implement multi-agent coordination. In the source materials M&A deal app example, evaluating companies like Acme Robotics, a main coordinator agent actually spawns specialized sub-agents. So one sub-agent might exclusively focus on macro industry trends, while another crunches deep financial analysis. Each gets its own context window, and they chat with the coordinator to pass findings back and forth. It's brilliant.
But the third scaling practice, that is arguably the most powerful. Outcomes. Outcomes let you pass a rubric specification like a text blob or a file that explicitly defines what success looks like. Claude does a first pass and then automatically enters this mode where it iterates and checks its own work against your rubric over and over until it's satisfied it met the spec. This self-correction loop is an incredible way to guarantee quality at scale without having to write custom retry validation loops in your own codebase.
So the core takeaway of this entire architectural review really boils down to this quote. Stop building boilerplate infrastructure and start building scalable products. By leveraging API-driven primitives for agents, environments, and sessions, and tapping into built-in vaults and MCP tunnels, you are completely freed from the operational drag of maintaining complex agent states.
Which leaves us with one final question for you. Are you ready to escape the infrastructure trap and build your next scalable agent workflow? The primitives are there, the developer console observability is live, and the multi-agent coordination is ready to go. All that's left is for you to open the console and start connecting your tools. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this gave you a clear, structured blueprint for your next architecture design. Go build something amazing, and I'll catch you next time.